Okay, so when a crisis hits your business, who's the first person you call? We're going to talk about something really important today. The huge difference between just a regular vendor and a real strategic partner. You know, the kind of partner you absolutely need when the stakes are high.
And this quote, this just says it all, doesn't it? For Carlos, a restaurant owner, and honestly, for so many other business owners, what might look like a small problem on the surface, no, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a crisis, the kind that can shut you down and stop the money from coming in.
And that's because of this simple, unavoidable fact. Downtime costs money. I mean, this is the one truth that connects every single business out there, right? It doesn't matter if you're in a fancy high-rise or a local warehouse. Every single minute that you're not fully operational, that's a direct hit to your bottom line. And that's exactly the problem we're digging into.
So, let's break this down. How does a business crisis even begin? It's amazing how fast a seemingly tiny issue can just snowball. Before you know it, it's not a small problem anymore, it's threatening your whole operation for the day, maybe even the entire week.
Okay, take a look at this list of common issues. We're talking active leaks, sewer backups, you get the idea. But here's the thing, these are not just items on a maintenance checklist. No way. Each one of these is a direct threat to a business's survival. A sewer backup? That's not just a mess, that's a potential health code violation that can shut you down. No hot water in your kitchen? Guess what? You can't legally operate. Low water pressure in an apartment building? Get ready for a tidal wave of unhappy tenants.
All right, so when one of these crises hits, what does the ideal response even look like? This is where we start to see this shift, right? Moving from just fixing the immediate problem to actually partnering with someone to protect your business.
It really boils down to a clear, four-step game plan. And this whole thing is designed to minimize disruption and, just as importantly, build trust. So, step 1, fast dispatch. I mean, in these situations, time is literally money. Step 2, safe work areas. This is huge. It's not just about protecting the technicians, it's about keeping your staff, your customers, and your property safe. Then step 3, clear communication. So you're never left wondering what's going on. And finally, the big one, step 4, upfront pricing. No nasty surprises, no blowing up your budget. See? That's the bedrock of a real partnership.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does the solution look like in the real world? Because the true partner gets it. This is not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. They have to adapt to the completely unique pressures that different industries are under. Just think about it for a second. If you're running a restaurant, your number one priority is getting a clogged drain cleared, like yesterday. But if you're a medical facility, you need non-invasive repairs that happen only during very specific, pre-approved downtime. A warehouse has different needs than an office building. So the what changes from industry to industry, but the how, that strategic partner-level approach we've been talking about, that has to stay consistent.
So, we've looked at the process, we've seen how it works across different fields, but the real question is, does it actually work? Let's get to the most important metric of all, trust. What are the clients, the people actually on the receiving end of this service, what are they saying?
Let's take a look at this comment from Susan, a commercial property manager. Now, listen to what she focuses on. It's not just that the problem got fixed. She's talking about professional technicians, clear invoicing, and getting the documentation she needs for her records. If you're a manager trying to juggle a dozen properties and their budgets, that kind of process, that proof, well, it's everything.
And this really brings us to a huge takeaway. Trust isn't just about plugging a leak. It's about providing the clear, buttoned-up documentation that business managers absolutely have to have. Because let's be real, in the commercial world, if you don't have a paper trail, it might as well have never happened.
Okay, now let's switch gears and listen to David, who's a facilities director. His priorities, a little different, but just as critical. He hones in on reliability, being schedule-driven, and making sure the work passes inspection. For him, it's all about those big, long-term projects, staying compliant, and just keeping a massive facility humming along without any hiccups.
And what does that tell us? It highlights a non-negotiable truth for anyone in facility management. You have to have a partner who is reliable and lives by the schedule. Someone who gets that deadlines aren't suggestions, who can meet tough standards, and who just delivers professional results time and time again. No exceptions.
So all of this really brings us to one final big question. I want you to think about the people and the companies that your business relies on when things go wrong. And ask yourself this, are they just a service provider? Or are they a true strategic partner? Honestly, the answer to that question could change everything about how you run your business.